Very much. Very good day, viewers, and I wish you all the best and a better Nigeria.
We are here today to discuss about what has been happening in our society. We want to talk politically because we are on the polity program. So, first and foremost, we can see that there's a kind of quagmire in our show between the political parties. The one in power and the one in opposition. They've been at loggerhead for a while now. And it doesn't look like it's going to end soon.
Thank you very much. Let me start by giving thanks to Almighty Allah and to thank you for this opportunity. Let me start from the bottom. That is the local government. What we are witnessing in Osun is not new and should not be new to anybody. And it's going to keep repeating itself in other states. And until we go back to the basics. And what is the basic? The local government as the third tier of governance that is the closest to the masses. We continue to fail in our primary responsibilities because of the method of election. Until local government election is taken off of state and taken off under the caprices of the governors and allow the INEC to be conducting local government election. That is when we will truly start to enjoy the benefits of local governance in Nigeria. Having said that, coming to Osun at large, I think current political development is nothing but a manifestation of greed. There is no atom of interest of the people, interest of the masses, and interest of the communities. The governor, not only Osun State governor, to me, as a person, the governors today have become emperors, and enormous resources are available to them now under this present President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is so enormous. If we should be just and fair to ourselves and comparing the volume of money in terms of federal allocation to states in the last one year thereabout, and juxtapose it with the available developments on ground, I will say today no governor is performing, and that is my own candid submission. And when I say that, I mean the entire governor in the whole country, and Osun is not excluded.
The recent panic by the governor is in lieu with what you just said, that none of them is performing. Or do you think he knew, either he perform or not, he might lose the office to APC next coming election?
Thank you very much. Let me be emphatical with you. When you look at APC-led federal government, vis-a-vis the indices and parameters for measuring governance, today I yet to see any benefit, especially the masses. Yes, there are drastic decisions, policies. Does it really translate to betterment of the masses? The emphatic answer is no. And if on daily basis the government is busy rolling out anti-people, anti-masses policies that triangulate the masses, that weaponize poverty, I think there's a question mark to that. But while I agree with some of the drastic policies at the federal level, I think there are a lot of lacuna in terms of management of resources, which is seen to everybody. Having said that, coming to Osun, as a passionate Ife man who believes in Ife, who loves Ife, I will tell you emphatically that Nigeria, people believe in where power resides. And because of the APC federal government led, coupled with the fact that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a Yoruba man, and with the recent ganging up from other regions, I think the Yorubas will need to sit down and really address issues properly. But to me, it should not be on basis of politics. It should be on basis of acceptability and performance. Today, I don't see anything spectacular. It's unfortunate. The governor seems not to understand the politics the way it should. But what is important to me is to have someone who will be able to take Osun State out of the present precarious situation. I will submit strongly. We are overdue in Ife to rule the state. And considering our voting strength, I think the entire state should come together and consider giving Ife a chance. And let us see how it will be. But I can assure you, it will be a different ball game.
By what you just said, I want us to dwell on it, because it seems like Ife has been sidelined for a while now in every areas of where they are supposed to be governing, or maybe they are supposed to lead. For example, the OAU was established in 1960, 1962 or thereabout. Until date, there's never been an indigenous of Ife maybe become the VC of the university. Even Osun, that was formed in 1991, till date, an Ife indigene have not become a governor of the state. What do you think is responsible for that? Is it that people around any Ife man or Ife indigene doesn't really believe in them to deliver? It's clear that Ife is a very popular city, Asian city. A lot of people, 90 or 91, 99% that live in Nigeria must have heard about Ife. If not for the university, or be for the royal evil, will always be at the top of everything that comes from Ife. So one way or the other, Ife is a very popular and Asian city. How come it has not assumed the role of leadership in all these spheres, a governor, VC, and all that?
Thank you very much. This is a very deep question, and I will like to give it different approaches. But let me say this emphatically. Ife has two major challenges: the external and the internal. What do I mean by external? Within Osun State, Ife, we are micro minority. I will refer to Ijesas as the minority, while the Oyos that made up of senatorial 1 and 220 local governments are the majority. And you know, politics is a game of number. And definitely, in an environment like that, someone who aspires to be a governor must not only be humble, be godly, must be fair, respectful, must be seen to be very deep in African traditional intelligence, and be able to imbibe the Yoruba philosophy that a third person that needs to get something from a twat will definitely have to be rolling on ground. I think these are part of the challenges we see have in Ife. We have very brilliant, good politicians who are capable, who can deliver. But at the same time, this issue of external forces is a big challenge, and we need somebody who can handle it head on. Before I leave that, let me use President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a practical, realistic example. What Baba Awolowo and Latem Kwabola could not achieve, what he achieved by becoming the president. He didn't become overnight. He became the president. He has been working for it for years, creating relationship, friendship across the bridges in all geopolitical zones, extending his love, showing concern, showing fairness, showing godliness, and with humility, humanitarian assistance by excellence. So these are the factors that gave him the presidency. It's not an overnight issue. For anybody who want to be an Ife man to become a governor in Osun, the person must understand these methodologies, must be deep in African traditional intelligence, and all these primary fundamentals must be seen in the person. Not only seen, he must be able to demonstrate it. That is external. Internally, I think it is high time for Ife to come together. We cannot get result when we are divided. I've been preaching it at every available opportunity that for Ife governor, we must put aside partisan politics. We must all see it as an Ife agenda. Yoruba says, you leave home with honor to outside. That's an adage in Yoruba that says, Ile Latin kesorode. So, you can't have a divided home and expect outsider to give you the honor and the respect you deserve. I left my submission on that for now.
In continuation, what is your opinion on who might be the next governor of Osun State? Due to the fact that you said Ife is ripe to be the governor, and now we've seen some contestants. Adeleke is right into it, Omorare is right into it, Omishere is right into it, and some other candidates. We are talking about Ife. That is why I mentioned Ife candidates now and the person in power. So, since you know that Ife is ripe for candidate leadership for the highest echelon of power in Osun, we have two candidates from Ife, which is Iyolo Omishere, who was the deputy governor in 1999 before he was removed, and he's been into senatorial posts and even contested to be a governor several times, but he couldn't win it. But now it seems the sun is bright, shining. It is bright for anybody that wants to contest to just shoot their shot. If they have the power to contest under the ruling party, which is APC, of course, they have about 60 or 70% of winning the election. When we have Babajide Omorare, who was a two-term senator, and a barrister who's been in the crannies and corners of politics in Osun, in Nigeria, in Lagos, in Abuja, and all that. So, if you think Ife strives to become the governor of Osun, which of these two people that are interested in contesting will you think would be the best candidate for Osun in general?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, everything belongs to Almighty God. Our life, our existence, and what happens tomorrow, nobody can say it. Having said that, there is nobody that is contesting for governorship that doesn't have the qualities and what it takes. But what I'm saying is, for Ife, we need to go back to the drawing board. We need to call ourselves together. We need to present a common candidate so that we don't have a divided home. That is the only option. All the contestants, with due respect, are competent, qualified, eligible, and worthy. But at the same time, at least, there are 200 million plus people in Nigeria. Today, Almighty has made Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu the president. So, the same thing applies. Ife needs to really go to the drawing board and go beyond partisan politics. By saying this a particular person, everybody coming out here are competent and worthy. Thank you.
With the performance level which you just graded when we started this interview, you opine that no governor in Nigeria has been delivery is poor, they are below par. What do you think they should have done differently? Because we know the federal government is taxing the people who are in penury, they don't have money, and giving it back to the governors. And the governor have not translating it back to the grassroots level, which is a common problem for the hardship in town presently. So what do you think? I don't think you are in their position. Maybe you are the governor of the state. What do you think you have done differently that will make things easier for the indigenous and your fellow citizens of Osun?
That question cannot be answered in isolation. What do I mean by that? Nigeria as a nation cascades into states into local government. When you look at the federal government, there are good policies and there are very bad ones. Today, for example, Nigeria is losing about $140-150 billion annually as a result of theft of crude, insecurity that prevent farmers, electricity wastage, and others. These are just the core major ones, apart from areas like medical. And no government anywhere in the world succeeds by weaponizing poverty. We are due for progressive tax system where the rich will pay more, but unfortunately they are the ones doing the loss. God will help Nigeria. So coming back to Osun, I want to tell you, governance is not a rocket science. It's a simple logic and mechanism. 75% of the populace are youth. 75%. And the moment you don't allow your policies to address those ones first, apart from the basic provision of education, food, good health, and the rest. What do I mean by addressing those ones? Like in Osun, every state in Nigeria for now supposed to have a first-class stadium like the ones we have in Europe, where youths will be engaged in all spheres of sport activities, and there will be competition all around the year to engage them. Another thing is revolutionized agricultural system. We are overdue for that, and there must, before you go into that, you must put in place an enabling environment that will absorb the outputs. It's not a rocket science. Our healthcare system need to be properly addressed. The issue of more money to the governors, I think it need to be backed with so many laws and policies from the federal level, so that there will be what we call participatory governance at every state and local government level, at all project level. Let's have representative of the traditional institution, the students, the youth, the market women, the professionals, so that governors will stop behaving like emperors or mini gods. I think these are part of the basics.
Thank you for coming to this program. We have learned a lot from you today, and we have seen how governance. You told us what you have done differently, what is supposed to happen in Osun, and all that. So your parting words, what are your parting words to the general populace in general? What do you think you want to leave them with? What is the advice? If you want them to make decisions politically, who will you have asked them? What will I have them to do? Will you leave them to their own conscience, or say, okay, you better dance this way or this way, we want this result?
Thank you very much. Let me submit strongly that my parting word is not for the masses. It's for the political and the political class at the elites, that they should stop these anti-people, anti-progress, anti-masses policies. They should stop weaponizing poverty, because there is always a tolerance to human elasticity. If not, very soon it will be a driven music. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.